You wait till I put the bottle in my mouth. You know? Good evening, everybody. We will call this meeting of the City Council, the City of Lathrup Village, to order, and would ask the clerk to call the roll.
Roll call. Mayor Brock.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett. Councilmember Ferguson.
Here.
Councilmember Manarino-Thompson.
Here.
Councilmember Stallings. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, I would entertain a motion to adjourn our two absent members, right? To excuse our two absent members, Ms. Stallings, because she is out of town on business, and Ms. Garrett, as she is recuperating from she just was discharged from the hospital a few days ago and indicated her inability to sit this long. So for a reason of illness, it would be her case to be excused.
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. You're going to see a lot of participation by only the same people over and over. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. We would invite those of you in the audience to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are, I think, a couple changes to the agenda. Madam City Administrator, can you remind us what those are and where they're being made?
Under the study session 4, instead of preservers.
No, that's, you don't need that. That's all right.
The only other one is, there's two more. 7, under the study session should be June 20th. And then we are adding to the action request, J, for direction for the administration to set a hearing for the vacate of Sunnybrook.
For the what?
The vacation of Sunnybrook, the road Sunnybrook.
Oh, okay. All right. So those are the proposed changes to the agenda. Is there any council member have any other change or addition?
No.
No, nothing further.
Hearing none, all those, could I have a motion to approve the agenda with
So
those
moved.
changes?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Next is the minutes of our various meetings that we have. First are the minutes of the study session, which was held on Monday, May 16th at 6 p.m. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
None.
None.
Could I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded, we approve the minutes for the study session of May 16th. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Next are the minutes for the regular council meeting, which was held on May 16th. Are there additions or corrections to those minutes?
None.
None.
Do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 16th. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. 1-0. No. Those are the only two sets of minutes we have, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Okay. Usually we sometimes have another study session, but we canceled that meeting. Okay.
Yep.
Next is our disbursement reports. The first is for the period of May 1st through May 15th of 2016 in amounts totaling $58,729.57. The second is from May 15th through May 31st of 2016 in amounts totaling $740,904.93. Council members, do you have any comments or questions on the detail behind these, that was furnished you behind these reports?
What's the detail behind recreation, and did it not include parks?
The amount?
Yeah, the amount.
That
Is it
is
just
the
for
amount for
recreation?
parks. That's for parks and
For total,
recreation.
parks and recreation. Okay,
Yes, it is.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I have nothing further.
Maria, do you have any items that you have questions about?
Quick question about recreation. Under other recreation programs, I don't remember seeing a figure May to June first payment, 7,358. What's that?
That is for the Russian Ballet Dance Company that we have here.
Oh, yes.
And that
Oh,
is-
the
that
dance
is-
program.
Right, that is their portion of the
Right,
revenue
okay.
that comes in.
That was something new.
So the rumor in the community will be that we are paying off the Russians on a regular basis.
Nothing further right now.
Do we have a motion then to approve the disbursement reports?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. The disbursement reports are approved. At this time, we reach that point on our agenda where we allow discussion of issues that are not listed on the agenda, and invite members of the audience to step forward at this time. In a minute. Okay. We have, and I would ask when you step up to speak, if you would go to the podium and give your name and address for the record. We were advised in advance of one, and I am courteous to her having do that. Damon? Did I pronounce that right? Iman. Oh, I put a V in there, didn't I? I apologize. Iman. She is running for the 6th District Court Judge.
Good evening, members and everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I did give the audience one of my flyers. May I also give you one just so you'll have something to look at while I'm speaking? There you go.
There's no electioneering within, oh, never mind. I'll let the clerk enforce that.
Oh, we'll take it.
Oh.
It should go right here.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You want to check it?
Thank you. Thank you. Should I put it back there for you? Okay, can.
There's more than one way to mess up your minutes, see that?
Good.
Again, my name is Iman Jajoni Damon, and I am running for judge of the 46th District Court, which includes Lathrup Village, Southfield, Beverly Hills, Franklin Village, and Bingham Farms. That's our jurisdiction under the 46th District Court. I have been on the bench as a magistrate since 2008. I was appointed by Judge Moiseev, Judge Richards, and Judge Johnson. And I've been serving since then, so I'm already doing 80% of the job. And now I've been an attorney for 24 years. I practice in federal court. My specialty is human rights and civil rights. And I'm licensed to practice in all 50 states. And I often travel all over and absolutely enjoy my work with great compassion. I don't consider my work as a magistrate on the bench as a job. It's really a passion for me. And in the past 8 years, I have seen a lot and learned a lot that I've decided that I want to serve my community full-time as a judicial officer. I am here again to introduce myself and answer any questions you may have.
The slot you're running for is, it used to
Actually,
be held by Judge Richards, I believe.
Correct,
And
and
he
he
has retired.
Yes, sir.
And there was an
yes, sir.
appointment by the governor of that position. So there are several candidates, obviously.
Yes,
interested
there
in
are
running
6
for it,
total
so.
candidates. I am one of them. I'm one of the 6. And you're absolutely right, Mayor. Judge Richards retired early. His term would have ended December of this year, but he retired last year in July, and Governor Snyder appointed someone who's also running for the position because it does end, the term ends in December.
Right. So, right, because the term ends anyway.
Yes, so she has to
Whoever
run.
is appointed had to stand for re-election by this election.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I am very active in my community, and my involvements and associations are listed on my flyer in the back. And I am just briefly part of the Southfield Lathrup Optimist Club that the mayor belongs to, and I'm very active in it as well. And when I list these organizations on my flyer, it's not because it looks good, it's because I truly believe in them, and I am a doer. I don't just list them because they look good for the people, for the voters. So I am ready to answer
Thank
any
you very much.
questions
Does
you may
anybody
have.
from council have any quick questions for? Because we have other folks that we want to give time to as well. So, okay. Any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
as
I appreciate being here.
As your campaign progresses. I'm sure we'll see your name a lot more as we get closer to the date.
I hope so.
This is what well, there is a primary.
There's a primary?
Yes, thank
And
you for mentioning
that. Will bring the number
to 2.
to 2.
Yeah, the primary is August 2nd, and the top
So
two
the two
vote
survivors
getters. The
get
two
to
survivors
get to duke
to the
it out
general
then
elections. Yes,
for
and
the
then
actual seat. All
4
right.
will go home.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we had someone add, you're ready to come up? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Myra Walton. My address is 17570 Ramsgate Drive. I've been a member of the village for going on 10 years now. I have a concern that something I've been noticing in our area as well, others also, but many of the properties are going into despair, and they're being sold to very, very critically low prices. I'm going to give you an example of that. And this is turning down is lowering the value of our own property. Right behind me, this is a over 1,800 square foot bungalow that just sold for $6,000. Okay, and
These are actual sale prices?
yeah, this is okay. Can I give pictures?
Please.
Sure.
Is that permissible? Okay. These are the pictures of the home. Okay. That orange sticker you see on the door there, that's Jim Wright's ordinance that's been there for like a month. That's the write-up, and the second page you see where it has sold for $6,000. Okay.
It sold for what?
$6,000.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't know that.
Me too. Okay, but in the meantime, you got
I
to do
know if
something.
I had 6,000, but I might have had enough for that.
Or found a way to get it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, the problem is, this isn't the only one. I mean, that when I saw that as being an extreme, I said, okay, it's time to look at doing something about it. Other properties people are taking advantage of the government's 10 months without paying your payments, okay? If you're having problems in keeping up on your mortgage, they'll give you 10 months, okay? At the end of that time, you have to come up, you have to bring everything current, okay? But all they have to do is make one payment, and then the whole process starts over, they get another 10 months, okay? And this goes on for an extended period of time. I'm talking years here, okay? So the houses are going into disrepair. On many times, I've called the city, and they always come out, okay? And Jim Wright is great. He works not only for our village, but other cities, okay? You call him, he's there. But the problem is, he's only got so much punch, and they're ignoring everything that he does, okay? Okay. People are also taking advantage of these, okay? Most of them are either people that are looking to flip it, which is okay, they get in there and they fix it, okay? Or they're religious affiliates that are going to look to buy a group home for mentally handicapped adults, not cool people, okay? My family and I lived that nightmare for 10 years in Southfield, okay? I'm not going to go into it now, but anybody wants to ask me about it, I'll tell you about it. It's just not a good situation. I'll be out there working in the yard, and they'll come up to me, can you tell me about this property? We're looking for a group home. And just basically tell them to keep walking. Okay. Jim will post a notice on the property, okay, and they just ignore it, okay? They don't show up in court, and the courts don't chase after them, okay, because it's just a civil infraction. There might be a light at the end of the tunnel to help us here, though, okay? The solution, city attorney, yeah, okay,
He's sitting there quite alert.
He's
So
taking notes.
good boy.
you woke him out of his slumber, so we're all
That's my
set.
job, okay.
We're ready to go.
Solution, can we change this from a city infraction to a misdemeanor? Now we've got the court's attention, and they're behind Jim, all right? Even if they get stopped on a road, you know, a traffic violation, boom, it's there. A misdemeanor will come up like that. I got the idea from Jim, too.
From who?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. In any
Oh, from
event,
Jim,
okay.
all right.
One of the things that it's not just that, you know, the property is going downhill and it looks terrible. And all. Let me just do one more thing here. The banks. The way the banks determine how they are going to, or how much they will allow for a mortgage to a house, okay? They take 6 of the houses in the immediate area, and they take the lowest 6. All right, so in our area, we've had them go for $40,000 and $60,000. That should have gone well up over $120,000 and $150,000, even if they needed work. These are slipping down the hole, okay, and they're dragging the rest of us. Because what do you think is going to happen when we go to sell our houses, when we retire, if we want to move or whatever, if I want to change up, okay? Again, it's there. That house sold for $6,000. The next one was $60,000. The other one was $40,000. There's a way to do this, and it's through the courts, but how can we do that? When can we do it? Can I help you do it? And, well, that's kind of all I had to say today.
Okay.
I want to thank you for your help and your time in allowing this, okay? And basically, that's all I wanted to say.
Are you familiar with this practice?
Yeah, and I can, briefly, if you'd like, I can address
Sure,
it.
please.
Please.
There's a couple issues with creating or making ordinance violations a misdemeanor.
Okay.
The first is that corrective action becomes very difficult. Typically, the situation you described where individuals don't show up to their property with their property violations in court, what will happen is what's called the default judgment will be entered, and then we will actually submit an order for corrective action, which the judge can sign right then and there, which allows the city to enter onto the property and correct the violations. A lot of times it's inoperable vehicles or an accumulation of rubbish. That makes it easier for the city to collect that, correct that violation, and then turn around and assess the cost of the corrective action onto the tax roll for that property.
Okay.
You don't have that that avenue is readily available if it was a misdemeanor. It requires bringing in what's called a show cause hearing and actually getting an individual to appear. Now, if they don't appear for the pre-trial or the pre-formal hearing, the likelihood of them showing up at a show cause is unlikely. Then they would then go into bench warrant status, like you said, and if they get picked up driving around.
But
The
there
second
is
problem
that.
to that is a lot of these properties, particularly the one you passed around, those are owned by corporate entities. you can't bench warrant a corporate entity because you can't arrest a corporation. So it becomes difficult, if not impossible. Oftentimes the resident agent for those corporations they're registered out of state, and there is no real recourse. So while it may seem that there'd be more teeth to the misdemeanor, and absolutely, there are severe penalties, up to a $500 fine, up to 90 days in jail.
But it's not happening.
It's not happening. But in my experience in the past is that typically the people that do show up, they've fallen on hard times, and they can't afford to have their roof repaired or their house repainted. So putting them in jail is not going to get their house repaired, their roof repainted.
Let me interject something here. Have you seen what's in their driveway and what's in their garage? On the weekends, do you see the parties they're throwing and the booze bottles that are around? They've got money. All right? And as far as not showing up for the judge, how many times can you do that before a judge gets mad? And again, bench warrant. It's money. Who gets the money? Maybe Lathrup Village will, okay? Whatever, however, but it's something we can do. You're saying it's not a lot of teeth. It's more than what we've got now, by a long shot. And I have put a lot of sweat equity into my house and a lot of money, and so have my neighbors, okay? We love our homes. We're proud of them, and I know one of these properties that was a corporate entity. The rest of them are all people. So, I mean, you can get a person.
I'm just based on my experience, and Jim Wright he issues a lot of tickets for code violations. He does a good job with it, and we have seen a lot of results. So maybe in your particular area with particular properties, we could discuss those separately afterwards. But just in general across the board.
I don't understand. Who's selling a house for $6,000?
Right behind me. In fact, the
Why? How did this sell for $6,000?
Good question. All right.
If it's owned by the bank,
It fell. Well, it was owned. This one was owned by a church. Okay. It was owned by the person that. Well, it was owned by a person, and then they fell into default, and the church picked it up or helped them out or whatever. But it went back to the bank. Okay. That one did go back to the bank. Okay. And for like 5 or 7 years, I can remember her saying that her son was scared because he could hear the raccoons and the squirrels running around the attic. They're still up there, honey. You can watch them going in there. They're having fun. But the problem is they're destroying the house. They don't have the best bathroom facilities and things. I mean, the house is in bad shape. That's why it's $6,000, okay? But the problem is, when I decide to sell mine or anyone else, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at the one that sold for $40,000. They're going to look at the one that sold for $60,000 over there, when all of this should have been going up over $150,000 to $200,000.
Thank you very much.
It is something real estate agents in town have talked to us about and brought to our attention, and it is something that I personally have been interested in finding out more. We're gonna be brainstorming. I got your name.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you kindly.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being a concerned, interested neighbor.
You want the photos back?
Yeah, thanks.
You can leave. We can just pass them down to our attorney.
Okay, oh yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate
I'm
it.
sure he's going to need to
We're gonna
explain
do
all this
something
later.
about this.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Donald Eichstad. I live at 18222 Redwood Avenue. We lived there for 35 years, and I'm a veteran of the United States Army. Honorable Mayor and Council, I'm here tonight to express concern about the increasing number of refugees being placed in our communities. We do not have an advance notice they're coming, and often the first that we learn they're showing up is when the children register for school. Who decides our communities can handle the needs of these newcomers, and why are the local residents last to know they're coming? Michigan seems to be receiving more refugees than anywhere else, and I'm concerned about the financial burden being placed on our communities. I understand that assimilation and the movement towards self-sufficiency is slow, and even after being here for 5 years or more, many are unable to make it completely on their own. Because of this impact on our community, I'm asking you to make a pledge to our committee that you will become fully informed on this refugee situation, to make any deliberations about welcoming refugees to our community fully transparent, and to take into consideration the needs of our most vulnerable populations, the veterans, the poor, and the elderly people, and the Christian refugees that are not being brought here. Before deciding to bring in refugees. I followed a story in Rutland, Vermont, and the turmoil caused by secret decisions to bring 100 Syrian refugees to that small community has been very disturbing to the people there. There were shock waves because of the prospect of having 100 new, unvettable neighbors, and it's pretty frightening to people who know that ISIS has been threatening to embed soldiers in the refugee stream for Trojan horse attacks. It's not that people do not want to help these people in need, but we should never compromise the safety and security of our own families. I will leave some information with the clerk. I urge you to watch the marked videos that are highlighted in the first page of that added information. Thank you.
Thank you. You wish to give that to the clerk?
I'll give it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir. You ready?
My name is Charles Kanazi. My address is 27347 Rainbow Circle. I'm up here to discuss about the expansion for the First National Bank. Excuse me. The only thing I'm here to talk about is there was a series of evergreen trees. When we had the house built, these evergreens were gorgeous, but now they have grown real high. And now down below there's nothing. So you can see through it of the parking lots or anything. My thing is, okay, we can get through all this stuff. What are we going to do about the trees?
Trees are on your property? Is that what you're saying?
It's on the
properties they've just acquired?
No, it's on cities.
Our backyard is divides that water.
Retention system, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a patch of land right there.
Yes, right.
And our backyard is right there. So the trees
Are on city property.
Yes.
And they've grown so high
Yeah.
that they don't provide the
There's
screening
nothing.
that they were meant to.
Yeah. Now, we had a meeting about 2 months ago, and I brought up, I thought the architect would address this. He said, it's not our property. So,
I was going to say, it's really not their problem, I guess. So it's what you're really wanting is for the city to take a look at that and see if there's something we can do to provide more appropriate screening there than what is now outgrown its usefulness, you're trying to say. So I will ask our acting city administrator, wink wink, that if you'd make a note of that. And
a note of that, and I will be out there.
I'm not sure who we should have look at it, but let's decide who should go out there and have a look. And it could be some other types of plantings ought to be made there in order to provide the appropriate screening. And we might convince somebody to help us with that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for bringing that to our
Thank you for
attention.
bringing it to us.
Thank you.
I hadn't even thought about that. I spend a lot of my free time at the tank, which is so
Well, there's a nice
it's where the kayak lessons are given, after all. And anyway,
Okay, thank
no, I don't mean to make light of your. I know it's a serious matter for you, so please don't think I'm making fun of it. But it is. I can understand why they said, because I was really interested in that, because one of the things that came about of those meetings was the commitment of Michigan First to do a lot more screening than they had originally even had proposed. So, and having seen some of the revised plans, I know that there's a lot of attention been paid to that. But this is really beyond that, and you're wanting some better screening than what is now there.
We can get some ideas from their plans.
Yeah, they've got some. They got lots of trees in their plants. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you. We'll have
you.
someone have a look
Thank
at
you.
that.
We do appreciate it.
And we will be in touch, believe me.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishes to address council? Yes.
God, what a bonus night this is.
Yeah, it is.
We don't usually get this much attention. We're very happy.
All timing, huh? My name is Marilyn Baladian, and I'm at 17656 Roseland. I just want to make a comment to the lady that was up here about the $6,000 home. That's quite discerning. And what I just want to bring kind of ties into what she was talking about as far as property values. And as probably most of you, if not all of you, know, the one thing I want to bring to your attention is the suit guy over at 12 in Southfield. And his attempts to advertise, the outlet, Suit City, whatever, his attempts to advertise, I think he's far gone beyond his, what he should be allowed to do. He has a nice sign on the front of the building. He got a variance to get a sign on the side of the building. He has his truck that parks 24/7 in the office building next door. So as you exit Roseland to Southfield, it's blocking the view. He now is also going and opening his back door and putting full door length poster of his suits. And he props his door with the large barrel to have it open. So as you're turning onto Roseland or driving by on Southfield, you see that. And to me, that is not an enhancement to the values of our homes on that street. That has...
We would agree with your assessment of that, yes.
And the other thing is, I don't want to say he started a trend, but I paid more attention when driving on Southfield, and really the length of Lathrup Village itself on Southfield Road is the only area where you see trucks or cars that are parked in front of businesses advertising. South of Lathrup Village, like over even at 10 Mile in Southfield where they're doing building exterior renovations, they don't have that. They don't have it at the Sprint store. They don't have it at Checkers over there. They don't have it anywhere. You go north, the only one I can think of or I see is the Encore resale shop, and they park it. It's way off. It's in the evening. But Lathrup is the only one that has it. And none of these businesses, I would venture, even sponsor anything in the city of Lathrup Village. Levy Taxes doesn't. Domino's is new. Cash Advance has been there. For all I know, the van is broken. It's never moved. We got Suit Guy. I mean... And now another suit person down here is putting signs too, but they may have a permit for that. But to me also, the signage that these businesses have are very cluttered. And to me, they're dangerous when you're driving, looking for things. They say, oh, the more we have, the more that you can see. No, to me, it's a distraction. You could get into an accident trying to read some of the signs. But to me, the suit guy... he's overboard. And I know he's been written up for lots of citations, but yet he continues to do it. And my question to you guys is, what else can we do to prevent this? Because you want Lathrup to have a centralized downtown, and that's not any way to attract any kind of businesses. Even with the new strip mall that's over there, they don't have any vehicles parked in front either, advertising any of their stores. We are the only city like that, and to me, it's junky. It devalues us.
We do have several of them that have these trucks and vans out there.
It has been an ongoing issue that I know Mr.
I know we have gone
has
after
been
a
working,
couple of them.
trying to go after a couple of them, and I don't know which one in particular, but there's about 3 of the men's warehouse, men's clothing type
they
places.
multiply like rabbits.
I think Levy Tech Services was one.
Yeah, they have a Jeep and a huge mobile whatever, yeah.
That have been written citations for that on numerous occasions. So I'll follow up with Jim if you see them Friday before I talk to them.
So,
One of the things that they're not allowed to have those there and not move.
Right, they can't,
So-
they can't be parked there, but it sounds like the one you said
Oh,
is not
he's
even
there all the-
operable and it,
Oh, no, I'm assuming that, because it
Okay,
never
all
moves.
right.
That's the cash advance. But suit person, he's there 24 hours a day. He doesn't leave he doesn't move it.
Yeah. We've got
So-
a couple of vans like that.
yeah, I'll have Jim
Yeah,
look into
down the
those,
road.
because they can't be, because essentially if you just park a car there permanently and put a sign on it, well, now it's just a sign, it's not,
Yeah, it's
so
a
that's
sign.
something that,
Yeah.
it has to be a movable,
Yeah.
operable vehicle.
But the suit
They're
person...
trying to get those, so. yeah.
I know, but my question is, you need to become more effective and be able to...
Okay.
I would like to see the city improve in its value.
That's a fair
And,
thing,
you know,
statement.
it's bad enough that the dumpster is there with all the garbage showing on Southfield Road. And by the way, that gate does not work. That's why it's never closed.
What gate is that?
Which gate, yeah. That's
For the
another one.
dumpster behind Olga's, that front gate to the dumpster,
Oh, okay.
the enclosure,
Yeah.
doesn't work. Because I picked up garbage that came over to my property, and I walked over there to throw it in their dumpster. So if I try to close it, it wouldn't close. It's broken.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I have one other question for you. Sorry. But when you guys do the repaving of the alleyways, is that just that strip where the cars drive, or is it the entire back of the building? Do you know what I mean? Is it just that alleyway, or, and I ask for a reason?
Right, is the land or the area adjacent to the building? How far does that extend?
I guess it would depend. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you may know, or Sean may know, but on each one case-by-case basis, there may be an arrangement with the property owner that would include paving some of their parking lot or their parking area, which is outside of the right-of-way for the alley.
Okay, so it's
But
really
I
that.
don't, yeah, depending on the specific area and alley that gets repaved. And typically, those are handled by the DDA. So those
Okay.
funds would come from the DDA, but that's something that I think we could look into.
Well, what is your question?
My
now?
question is this, is that the one office building, I'm sorry, I don't know the address immediately. It's the first one behind Olga's.
South of Olga's.
South of Olga's, yeah. Between Roseland and San Rosa.
Is that a Jeff Dallywall building?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
tell me yes.
So there's a dumpster behind that building. It's facing Roseland. I believe they're going to be repaving that this summer. So is it possible that if they are going to do that entire area, they turn the dumpster to San Rosa? I'm tired of looking
They
at
turn the
dumpsters.
dumpster to what?
San Rosa,
Oh,
the gateway, the open to get the truck to come, the garbage truck to come.
Yep.
He can come from San Rosa. Because as it is, the garbage people come and drive down Roseland when they do their pickups. So our roads are getting destroyed for it, so it's out of your budgets and our taxes. But I would like to know if that happens, if they can turn and they can share in our pain then. Because that's another one where they had heavy-duty sofa and
did you make a
chairs
note of that?
taken out, left there, and then when it was brought to the city's attention, somebody took it the next day and moved it behind Olga's. So they just passed the buck.
Well, that's interesting. As we make those improvements, or as those improvements are made, to find ways that might
Sure, we should.
make more
Yeah.
sense. Yes.
That would be appreciated because then our values go down as people, it's all about values, and I know we all have a stake in it.
There's a question. You want the dumpster turned on Roseland
No, towards.
or towards?
It's facing,
So the entrance is
opening
facing-
gate is facing Roseland.
Okay.
So we see all the garbage. I'm just saying, lift it and turn it around to face San Rosa.
Give the San Rosa folks equal time. is
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
Is that the same one that does not have the operational?
No.
Okay.
The one that's
That's
not
at
operational
Olga's.
is Olga's.
That's at Olga's.
That's the oldest, yeah.
And I thought they were going to replace that when they did renovations, but evidently not. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing your concerns to us.
Anyone else? we should be heard this evening.
Just a quick question from my
Yes.
side, Mr. Mayor. Maybe just to address the gentleman regarding the refugee. We haven't received any influx of refugees in Lathrup Village, have we? And we haven't received any documentation that
No.
that would suggest that we did that.
Yes, sir.
The point is, you won't find out about it until they move in. It's all being kept secret from the United Nations down to the State Department, the federal government. It's a federal program, and it's kept secret, and you won't find out about it until it's too late. Now, the state, there's some bills in the legislature to address that within their limits for financial responsibility and local control and things, but it's a tough battle because it is federal.
I think
Okay.
at the city level, we haven't
No, we
approved
have
any
not at
budget
this
at
point.
all to receive refugees at all, so.
No.
Okay.
And most cities our size would not have any budget for that.
Right.
And it's, if you recall, the governor has made a statement that is welcoming of refugees, and so it's, and there is a federal commitment now, I think, to take, I don't know how many thousand.
Michigan, about 6,000.
Yeah, I don't remember what the national number was right now off the top of my head. So,
75,000.
is it?
But you can't find out any of that information. It's all secret. You have to go to FOIA to even find out what the
Yeah,
information is.
that was the other. I should have said a little more about what the governor said. He also said that he expected to be, in fact, he actually put a halt to any state efforts to settle refugees without it being cleared ahead of time with the federal government dealing with it.
Because you can't vet it. People from a single state.
Yeah,
Nobody can check their anything on.
that's true. I guess we can all thank the good Lord we're not refugees right now. Okay. Anyone else? Again, thank you all for sharing your concerns, and Pam is our acting city administrator, and she's going to act like one and probably not let us off the hook until she gets more information on some of these things. So we thank you for coming and being heard this evening. We do not have any public hearings noticed for this evening, so we'll move on to our action item requests. The first is the City Council will consider a motion to appoint a City Council member to the Election Commission. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before each election, we have to have an election commission, to go over the proper planning of the election, to talk about the testing, the precinct workers, and per the charter, it is the city attorney, myself, and one of the city council members, and tonight, if you all would be so kind, to become an election commission person for me tonight, and we'll have the meeting right after this meeting.
Okay.
Oh, well, then that lives, I was about to say, can we nominate Kelly or Donna? But
I thought you were a part of that election commission.
I think
she
I
was.
frequently am.
Okay.
She was, that was for last
It
election.
usually kind of rotates
Right.
among different council members.
Okay.
I mean,
For each election.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
In this case, we're talking about an election where none of us are up for office, so
Right.
it's
It's for the
it could be any one of us. Usually, we do not appoint someone if it's a city election involved.
Right.
We don't usually appoint one of us that are running.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. So, is there a volunteer?
Well, I mean, knowing the tremendous time commitment that it entails,
You volunteer.
I volunteer.
Should we have a motion then to appoint
So move.
Maria Manarino Thompson as the council representative to the Election Commission?
Can I so move and second?
You may move, and I'll second it.
Okay. So
All right.
moved.
So I'll second it.
Okay.
All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, done.
Thank you.
The next item is Remember, your first meeting as election commissioner is right after this meeting.
That's right.
Budget amendments, as is normal, part of our normal procedure at this point, is we're nearing the end of our fiscal year. Now with only, what, a couple weeks to go, Pam?
June 30th is the last day of our fiscal year.
So Pam, as proposed, we did spend some time in the study session going over these. So Pam, I'll turn it over to you. What is it you want to share with us at this point and with the public?
Every year at this time, we go through our budgets and we look at them to see where we've overspent some money because we didn't budget enough or we have more revenue coming in than we anticipated. So this year, I went through the budgets, every line item, and I've adjusted them either to put more money into an account that I thought needed it, or I've taken money out, trying to make our budget in better shape than what it was. So we're working on that, and every year we do it at the last day, or the last council meeting of June before our next fiscal year starts.
It's called tweaking?
Tweaking, yep.
Tweaking.
Tweaking up or down?
Some of them are up, some of them are down.
We have a motion then to adopt the budget amendments for the 2015-16 fiscal year.
So moved.
So moved. Madam Thompson, will you second?
Yes.
So moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We have next a memorandum to consider appointing certain members to the DDA Board of Directors. A couple of these are more pro forma because of members that we've had leave the employment of the city. Our city administrator, Pamela, is filling in that role as the acting city administrator. And Sean Kammer, who just beat a path out the door.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Is taking on the role of executive director, and that's ordinarily a position we appoint to the board as well. And then
And he's back.
a new member from the community is Bobby Levins, that represents one of the businesses in the district, and she has applied for that position. We have a vacancy, so we do recommending to the council this evening that we appoint her to that vacancy. She's a very active participant in the community on a number of other things related to the downtown thing. Sean, do you have anything you want to add to these appointment recommendations?
I'd only add that I hope the council strongly considers the appointment of Bobby Lovins. It would certainly assist the DDA in meeting its quorum requirements, and I think she would bring a renewed enthusiasm to the.
And I did phone her and I talked to her at some length today, so I told her that she was up for consideration, that the vote was very close. Anyway. Okay?
Yeah.
So could we have a motion to appoint the above members to the DDA Board of Directors?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Next is the appointment of an animal ordinance subcommittee. We have had a discussion going in the community for some time now related to the subject of dangerous animals, and we have had our city attorney, and I think there was one community meeting so far that a number of people turned out for and expressed some concerns or some suggestions about how to deal with this issue. But we wanted to just have formalize the subcommittee, which would be made up of Scott Baker, our city attorney, Barbara Lapicola, who is a concerned resident who's been involved in this question, Kelly Garrett representing and Maria Manarino Thompson from the representing the Planning Commission. So those are the ones we want to appoint to this committee. The committee will report a recommendation on ordinance changes or suggested ordinance changes, and we will then, and I think they will also hold an additional public information meeting that
Yes.
we will advertise widely so that everybody has a chance to weigh in on this subject. So, could somebody make the motion to appoint the members to the Animal Ordinance Subcommittee?
So moved.
I will second my...
Second, the motion to appoint you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, discussion?
Yes, any changes to the pet ordinance will go through this committee. They will make recommendations to the council.
Right.
And there would be an official documentation from the city lawyer that would allow us to review the items to see if they're pertinent or if they're not, and then we make our decision that way.
Yeah, likely what you would see out of the subcommittee is a proposed draft ordinance for, or amendment or a recommendation if the subcommittee determines that the existing ordinance is adequate, which is probably unlikely, but I would suggest, or I would surmise that you will see a proposed ordinance amendment come from the subcommittee, that then this body will be able to act upon that.
Fortunately, it's a subject that has very little, conflicts between people about, so we assume this will be a quick and expeditious review.
Yeah.
The reason it's here in the first place is because it's not quick and expeditious.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Very true.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Pam, you have a new leaf machine you want to ride through town on, is that right?
Yes, Mayor and Council. As people have known, our leaf machines have been breaking down. Every year we get down to one leaf machine, so we'd like to purchase a new one this year. But we are asking council to waive the bid for this leaf machine because if we, this is the company we've been using and they match up with our boxes that are on the back of our trucks as of now. If we were to use another company, they would not match up with our boxes and we would have to get new boxes for the backs of the trucks, and which would cost additional money. So we are asking to have us purchase a new leaf machine, and this one that we're looking at is going to have an extension on it. Instead of them raking the leaves to it, it's going to be like a vacuum where they can just pick them up.
Okay.
And you do have pictures of them too in your packet.
Yep.
And it's also going to be a revenue source because we can give kids rides on it.
I don't think so.
No, I don't want
I
to be
think
hurt.
that brings up another liability
Yeah, I don't
problem.
want to be hurt.
You can probably suck some kids.
Should we make the motion before we discuss? Because I do have a question.
Please.
Well, I'll make the motion
Yes.
to waive the bid process and approve the purchase of a new LCT 600 leaf machine for an estimated
With
$28,000.
the 74 horsepower engine, by the way, not the 50 something. The other one.
Along with the retro fit kit for another $53.99 for an agreement with Old Dominion Brush Company for a total not to exceed $38,000.
I second with
So moved
discussion.
and seconded. Discussion, please.
Okay, so I understand the waiving the bid process if we have a reason to do so. And the reason seems to be that it would, if we used a different company, it would probably cost us more. Do we know that? Do we know what, a new machine from a different company would cost, and then know what the cost to change out the boxes if necessary would be?
Sean, do you know what the change out of the box was? Was it another $16,000 for the change out of a box?
I don't have that figure readily available. I would have to go through Matt's notes. That was under a project I kind of picked up midstream from him, the Department of Berkeley. So
Yeah.
that was
When he departed, he had brought it to us and said that he had checked into everything, and this is what he would recommend.
Yeah, it seems as if I have a recollection of having this discussion beforehand.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Part of the capital improvements program.
Yeah, so, you know,
Actually, I think it was at the May 16th meeting
Yeah.
that we talked about it at the study session.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't talk about was what kind of warranty. Would we have an extended warranty or just regular manufacturer's warranty on this, since it's going to be a new piece of equipment?
I would have to say we'd have the the regular warranty for the equipment on it.
an extended warranty could always be purchased at an additional
It
cost.
could
isn't
be.
that,
It could be if you
Yeah,
let me
that's
go
true.
over the
That's very
$38,000. It could be.
Right.
Over here, no other machine can compare.
And if you're buying it through
That's the
Sam's Club,
warranty.
something like that. Yeah.
And we are getting the extension for the old leaf machine, so that can vacuum too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think we
But if
did
you'd like-
get enough information on it.
If you'd like me
yeah.
to go up with the price, I can be happy to get the extended warranty. It's
Well, I
your
mean,
call.
you know, that,
I don't know what it is.
I get calls all the time
Yeah.
on extending the warranty on my
Right.
2009 car. I mean, that's always something we do at a later date if we decide that's,
Cost-effective measure.
Right.
Right.
And mostly about service agreements is that the companies that offer them are doing so because they make money at it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Unless you happen to have the one machine that breaks down.
We won't have that.
Right, that's true.
Should that be a problem with a new one?
They'd have to
No.
deal with me then.
That's right. They'd be sorry then, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Yes, they would.
all right, it's been moved and seconded.
Yep.
All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Where am I now? We
Action
had,
request
we have another emergency expenditure.
Yeah, that's-
One of our primary pumps at the famous retention tank that someone was here discussing earlier.
Mr. Mayor, I believe you skipped over 8F.
Yeah,
the
probably.
elevator.
Yeah, it's probably
found
down
it-
later.
I don't see it
I don't
in
think
my
there was
packet.
a suggested motion in the packet, but
Yeah.
it is on the agenda.
There should be.
Where did I,
F.
8F?
A water leak in the elevator.
Oh, in the elevator, yes.
Yeah, but I don't see a suggested
There was
Yeah.
one.
motion.
Let me see.
So what do you want to tell the city council about this leak? We had to go ahead and repair it.
Yes.
So it was
Because we were
repaired
in
immediately?
violation
We
of
just
law and
I remember seeing it
our license
somewhere.
on the elevator.
I did too. I remember
read.
seeing it in here. I'm
We
looking.
sent poor Cliffy down to the
Do
basement.
any of us have, 'cause I just have the paper packet. I thought when I was going through it on,
Line.
yeah, that it was there.
I did too.
I'm
Well,
looking
it's
for
here
it.
in the
Well,
agenda, but,
Yeah, I thought it was in the,
well, Pam,
what I'm
electronic.
asking for on this is for the leak in the elevator shaft. We have water running into our elevator shaft that's coming through a wall, and we need to have that fixed immediately, waterproofing our shaft and our elevator. If we do not do that, well, as of right now, we are in violation with the state of Michigan, and if somebody does come in, they could shut our elevator down. It's also potential that we could ruin our elevator with the water being there, so they are recommending our company that we services our elevator recommended a company that they use and is certified by the state to go into the elevator shafts and waterproof them. So what we're asking is that it not to exceed between $6,000 and $8,000 for the waterproofing of the
that's
elevator
right.
shaft.
Yep. 4,000 to 6,000?
Yes, no, 6,000 to 8,000.
6 to
I'm sorry.
8,000. 6 to 8,000.
Yes.
Is the estimated cost. So it would seem a motion not to exceed
Correct.
8,000 would be in order.
If I thought,
That's right.
If I saw the thing, it was $8,001 exactly.
What?
I had $8,001 for it not to exceed
Oh,
8,001?
$1.
Okay.
is there a reason for the one?
because I felt like putting it
In
there.
case the guy needs a newspaper that day?
Kept the coffee on the way.
Yeah, coffee, right. Except you can't get coffee for $1, can you? Anywhere?
In my kitchen.
In your kitchen, there you go. Not mine. My brewer blew up the other day, so. All right. Council, what is your pleasure here? Consider emergency inspection, so. Do you have a suggested motion, Mr. City Attorney?
I would suggest the council approve an emergency expenditure not to exceed $8,001 to repair a water leak in the elevator shaft.
We don't need to address, because it's an emergency, doing a no
Yes.
bid. And we have.
Waive the normal
We asked to
bidding
have it
process
waived,
because of the emergency nature of the problem.
And we have a specific company in mind that we have used before.
Recommended by our elevator
By our elevator company that we use, that checks our elevator every month.
I'll make the motion, what he said.
Is there a second?
Yes, there's a second. Not to exceed $8,001.
Right.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. The next emergency expenditure,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to get to it yet here, my guy.
I'm
is
sorry.
to replace pump number 6 at the tank.
You know, when you become new, you find all
How many
these.
tanks are there? I mean, how many pumps do we have over there? Do you
I
know
know at least 7.
Okay, so number 6 means there's
Number 6 is.
several others anyway.
Number 6 is failing. At any time, it will be gone. And the company that we deal with for our water pumps is Kennedy Industries, and they have recommended that we replace the pump ASAP in regards to this pump, because if this one goes, we could have problems if we were to have a heavy rain with some kind of backflows.
We've been sitting around with our fingers crossed with the weather forecast the last couple of days.
So this is something that I have just been brought to my attention, that it needs to be replaced. And so they have told me that it was not to exceed $10,090. That's pump and labor.
Okay.
And that is very important to our retention tank if the pumps are not kept up.
Yes.
Also,
There is an overflow contingency, though, such, I think they're basements of certain homes, I don't know, but anyway,
yes, and we don't want that.
we don't want that.
No.
Do we know, not that I, don't trust Kennedy Industries, but do we know what life is left at the pump? Do we know whether it can be repaired? Do we know,
Per the gentleman I sat down with, because actually this did come into Matt's email, and when I was answering his emails, the gentleman, I came in and we did sit down and we were talking, and he said that this one could be repaired, but it would probably cost more to repair it than it would for us to get a brand new one in there. We also have another pump that is going, but that one doesn't have to be repaired as quickly as this one does. But I will probably, next fiscal year, be coming asking for the other one, and I will go out for
However,
bids at that
having a
time.
problem with this one could hurry up the
problem with the next one.
problem with the
And the
next
next one is pump 7.
do we, have we thought about getting a second opinion?
old number 7.
Kennedy has done all of our work on our tank since I've been here, for the 16 years I've been working
Our
with the
experience so
city.
far is there's very few firms that do these.
That will do this kind of
we've,
thing.
we've had this, run into this before, that there's very few firms that are in this particular business, so.
So, yeah.
Would you like to bid,
Well,
Marie, maybe go in there and see?
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
there too and done that.
It does bother me. I just don't know what,
Right.
what the alternative is. But it does bother me. You go to the mechanic and he says, "Oh, I must fix that widget."
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, you don't know.
And I think he was talking to Matt prior to this coming up, so. they were in discussions before Matt left about this.
How old is old pump number
6.
6?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Old number 6.
And what is the, have we gotten a lifetime out of it?
I'm sure we have.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
our
question of
equipment
that.
is starting
You ever
to-
been over there when that
It's starting
thing's
to
in full
show its age.
operation? It's
Yes, it is.
Can we get some sort of 2-for-1 deal with this company, or change this now and then maybe get a discount later if we come back at a certain period?
I asked them if we got this passed now, and I could always ask them to see what the price would be next, but I asked them if they would hold the price for us instead of going up
Right.
on it. Because I told them they told me we're going to need 6 and 7. 6 would be the most important one, crucial
Right.
one right now, and then 7 would come down. And I said, well, then maybe if we could hold off on 7 till next fiscal year, would you guarantee the same price?
Do we know when the next one? I mean, if these things have a lifespan and we are at the end or beyond the lifespan of these things, aren't these things then that ought to go into the...
Capital improvement, yes, they should.
Yes, they should be.
I don't know much about a retention tank. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I am learning a lot about retention tanks.
The
Neither
things
did
you
Matt.
learn.
Matt didn't either, so.
All right, I'm done.
No, I would look at anything you want me to look at, Marie. I'll be on the phone calling retention tank people tomorrow.
So if we approve it tonight, then what's the time frame to actually change this out?
Well, they were in there today measuring for the pump today, so that was just for, pre-measure. It'd probably be within a week or so, I would think.
Okay.
Council, what is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to waive the bid process and approve the replacement of pump number 6 at the retention tank with cost not to exceed $10,090.
Second.
It's been moved and
Discussion.
seconded. Is there any discussion?
What happens to the old tank?
Oh, it's not the tank.
The old pump?
It wasn't left on site, it was in the
Oh,
proposal.
the pump, what
Is
happens
this
to
a
the old
brass
pump?
pump, or
Do
do you
they,
know what
Oh, I've
precious
seen
metals
the
on
picture
there?
of the I've seen the pictures of the pump. I don't.
Okay.
It's quite rusted.
do they take it out and
I think they'll just
get rid
take
of
it and get rid of it.
Their proposal
Recycle
says
it.
to remove and leave on site,
Okay.
so maybe you could
We could have DPS
scrap some
take
old
it,
parts out of
scrap
it, fix number 7.
Well, that's interesting, they leave it on
Yeah.
site, what,
Yeah.
we're supposed to get rid of it?
Well, if our DPS can scrap it and get us more money for the next pump, that would be great.
All right,
I trust the anticipated cost of another one is going to get put into our capital improvement program, and that should give us time to
It'll be a
double check
budget.
if there's any competitive
Yes, and it
advantage
will-
out there for us in
And
the
it will be a
future.
budget amendment in the next budget, because I don't think it was.
I have a hunch that the
Okay.
visitation would be a visitation of the whole subject. In other words, the people who do our routine maintenance now, probably we should make sure that they quote us on whatever that contract expires.
Labors and that.
The labor and all that
Okay.
for going forward, so that we have a competitive look at that perhaps. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Next is the acceptance of an engagement letter for professional service agreement with Plant Moran. This is the firm that does our city audit, and this one Pam is qualified to talk about, more so than a pump maybe.
Correct.
Within her range of experience.
Correct. For the 16 years I've been with the City of Lathrup Village, we have used Plant Moran as our auditors. They have always been very competitive. They're very professional. They're enjoyable to work with. They help us with anything we need. And every year we get an engagement letter to sign I have never seen where the engagement letter has come to council before. I don't know if it has, but this year I did put it in the packet to have it okay.
Yeah, I think we've always seen it.
Okay.
Always comes.
Because I looked at past packages and I didn't see it, so. They are asking that, where is it? The price was not going up from last year, I do know that. $36,650. They're estimating that's going to be their fee for the audit this year. And they will start the audit probably in June. Our audit is going to be in August. Or July, I'm sorry, July. They'll come in for a couple of days and then August.
Seems like they were just here a short time ago reporting on the last one.
Tell me about it.
I think they said August 11th through the 19th.
Yes,
They'll be on site.
Yes,
That's correct.
it's going to be a split audit this year. They're going to be here for 2 days and then 3 days the following week.
So the suggested motion is to allow the acting city administrator to enter into this agreement with Plant Moran for their upcoming audit for fiscal year 2015-16.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next is the setting of, what is it?
Well, I was the motion to accept the departmental reports, but then you
Oh, I'm
had
sorry,
the-
yes.
Then you had the Sunnybrook after that.
Okay. So with that's right, that's the item next. We have the departmental reports from the Lathrup Village Police Department. And I think we are reporting the chief has a magnificent new beard. It is. Thank you. It's really nice looking, isn't it, guys?
It's very stunning.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
Code enforcement report, public services report are all included in that, the DDA and the Planning Commission minutes. So we need a motion to accept these departmental reports.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
So moved and seconded. Are there any questions anybody has about any of the reports, having had a chance to review them in detail, line by line, comma by comma?
I do have a question about, again, the tickets, the citations, only in terms of, keeping pace with, is this up, down, keeping pace? Do we know?
We're well above as far as ticket totals. Any department around here, we're well above per officer.
Yeah, I am going to stroke out the next time I see a car making a right turn onto 11 Mile from not from the turn lane. Every morning I run into it, I'm going to stroke out when I see that again, every morning. Because I have not been taking the lodge downtown, I've been
So
going...
you're going to have to be ready with an EMS crew as
I mean,
well.
like somebody needs to sit out there between, 8 and 9 o'clock. It's like every light, there are 3-4 cars trying to, and they're making me crazy.
I have been.
Which is a short trip for me, but...
We can put more enforcement out there for that.
They've got to stop that.
The other thing, Chief, I have noticed a few times around town in just the last couple weeks, it seems like there's been a rash of it, or I've seen a rash of it, are the failure of people in our neighborhoods to stop for stop signs. And they are not
They're
even...
just suggestions.
Yeah, what is the one that's comes in by Golden Gate Park? That's Rainbow, right? Rainbow and El Dorado, they don't even hardly slow down.
Yeah.
It's like there's no tip of the hat that...
Where you see it at.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one. There's been several other places I've seen it
You're
too.
having more cut-through traffic now because of the construction on 275.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a lot more traffic on Southfield Road. So anybody that has any problems with any stop signs, just call the police department, let us know. And we'll put some more enforcement out there and try to get people to slow down.
You know, yeah, now
Thank
that
you, Chief.
summer's coming, it really is a concern, as more people are out walking, kids are
More
out.
kids are out.
Yeah, my stop sign, I mean, I can,
I agree with
my
that.
kitchen's on the front of the house, so I can see what's going on, in the mornings
Maybe we can give
outside.
you some of those
It is,
strips that you can throw out there every so often when they see them and puncture their tires out. Yes. What?
can we stop you?
No. Okay.
Stop sign does not say stop. My stop sign says pots. Absolutely. Pots. Pots.
Yeah. We should tell the, I presume that's a DPS issue of replacing some of these signs, but there are a number of different signs around town that are not in very good shape, that are either faded badly, and stop signs are just some of them. There's the no parking signs in some neighborhoods where they're up that are hardly readable anymore.
Right.
Because they've just been out there and weathered for so long, so.
I will have DPW look at that for you, Nancy.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
I mean,
about
I can make the
sign.
ride around town and make a list of them if they want, but I will be angry by the time I get done doing that, so. And I don't like getting angry very often.
We don't want your blood pressure up. Yeah.
Me either. Are there any other comments or questions on the code enforcement or any of the other reports? Thank you for comments on the traffic issue, Dave, Chief. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion to accept the departmental reports, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next is the, I scribbled this so I can't even read what I wrote anymore. I apologize to everybody. What is it for?
Item 8J.
J.
I've been contacted by the attorney for Michigan First Credit Union in moving forward with their process of redevelopment, the proposed redevelopment. They are requesting that the council vacate the remaining portion of Sunnybrook Avenue. Previously, in their first development, we vacated a portion of that, closing off the through traffic. They're now seeking to vacate and close off the remaining portion to Red River Drive. So that requires a public hearing in front of this body. So we're requesting that council schedule a public hearing for the July 25th regular council meeting and publish the according notice.
Okay. That's the suggested motion. Is there a maker?
I'll make the motion to set the public hearing for July 25th.
Concerning the requested vacation.
Right.
Is there a second?
There's a second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. City Administrator, do you have some items that you're going to comment on?
I just have one thing. The Main Street Design Committee has asked me to let people know that they are slating the annual Southfield Corridor cleanup for 9 o'clock to noon on Sunday, June 26th. Volunteers are needed. To register your family, your business, or your organization, contact Main Street Manager Ken Martin at 248-557-2600, extension 222, or customer service at lathrupvillage.org. And they do need help with that, and it will be for Southfield Road. So if we can get volunteers to help us with that, we'd be really appreciate it.
This has been an annual event. We've been doing this every year, the last 3 years or so, 4 years. Yes?
How come we haven't heard anything about this?
It was in your newsletter, and I'm telling you now.
And was there also a blast that's gone out already? I thought,
Yes,
because I
I
got
thought there was a
something.
news blast.
I saw a news blast too, yeah.
I don't know, Nancy. Sorry.
It was sent to everybody except you, Nancy. We didn't think that you were going to have any time left after all the other stuff you do for us. no. All those things did happen, so.
And just briefly, maybe for those who have not participated before, what are we asking our groups, organizations, residents, friends of to do?
They'd like you to bring, if you have shovels, rakes, gloves, bring those because you'll be cleaning out the ditches along Southfield Road. You'll be picking up things around the buildings and the bushes, things like that.
This is a highly desirable job.
Yes, we try to
Please.
clean up our downtown area.
And
I have fallen in one of these ditches twice in the last couple of years trying to get stuff out of them, so.
And we will reward people by
Our pretty smiles.
bottles of water.
Is there a,
Yes,
is there a
we will.
potluck afterwards? Or?
Yes, there will be bottles of water, and I do not know
We
what
have
Ken
had some
has
hot
planned.
dogs and things afterwards.
Yeah, usually they have coffee and donuts before you start, and then you might have hot dogs afterwards. I do not know what Ken has set up.
I think there is something, I don't recall
Make
specifically
sure he
what it was.
has that in mind.
And what kind of time commitment are we asking for? Am I going to be out there working for like 8 hours?
No, it's from 9 to noon, that's it. 9 to noon. You have your whole afternoon to yourself.
Once you've showered, you got the stitch. The day is yours after that.
Sorry, Mayor.
I'm sorry, I just can't control myself.
I'm glad she cracked you up.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's going to be a good time.
Yes, it will be.
Actually, we've had a very good turnout in the past, and hopefully, he's told me we've got quite a few folks that have signed up already.
Yep.
And some that haven't signed up that he's sending the police out to have them escort them down here. But anyway, it'll work. All right. There's nothing else from the city administrator?
No, there is not.
The city attorney.
Nothing from our office tonight.
So there's nothing interesting and legal at all.
I just told you about it. Vacation to Sunnybrook.
Okay, all right. That's enough, you're right. Council members, is there any unfinished or new business you would like to bring up?
Yeah, I'd like to bring something up, Mr. Mayor. And I think you probably will say something about it. Mary Lee has departed the city.
Yes, I should say that in a minute.
Just want to extend the appreciation that we had for her over the last several years. And, we had a great festival over the past weekend. She organized it with the help of Nancy and company, and we're going to miss her. So on behalf of the city of Lathrup Village and the mayor, I'm sure he'll have something to say. We wish her Godspeed and God bless her family.
Any other items from you?
Well, the other item I would bring up, since Donna's not here, is Donna has been hosting some monthly coffee hours. I think I did one a couple of months ago. She's been doing monthly coffee hours. I think they've been going over real well. They've been really interesting. She's had some interesting people come in, had some great turnouts, and I think she's committed to doing it monthly. So I think she's already got one. She just had one in June, and I think she's already got one scheduled for July.
Right.
And I don't have the date, but I'm sure all of our residents can
We got a notice
look
out on the last one.
16th or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think our residents can look out for that, and if they have an opportunity, they really, ought to stop by and in an informal setting, get some information and raise concerns or whatever they want to do. So, so look out for those. I think those are a wonderful idea that she's been hosting.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, it's my turn. Announcement of correspondence. I really don't have any. The correspondence I received is, unfortunately, or we have received, is a resignation letter from Mary Lee Roseman, our Director of Recreation Coordinator. Mary Lee has been with us for 22 years. We haven't had an opportunity to do anything to show our appreciation for all of her efforts yet, because, as you know, Ian already alluded to the weekend festivities, and her last day was when that event closed that night. So we are planning to something which will get publicized so that people in the community will have a chance to come by and wish her well and this kind of thing. She is going to work for a neighboring city, City of Oak Park, in their Parks and Recreation program, and we wish her well. We appreciate indeed all the effort she has made. She's been a creative and interesting person when it comes to all these things that happen in this town, and she has had a lot to do with those, and we appreciate that a great deal. So our challenge now as a council is figuring out how to continue all that and have someone that all will come to it with that sense of creativity again and keep expanding on or introducing new things that will be for the benefit of our citizens and the entire community. So we will well publicize I think Pam is kind of coordinating that, and we'll probably do it down here in the community room and a late afternoon, early evening type thing, so that people will have a chance perhaps to come by on their way home from work or whatever. So so that she dares take the time, doesn't have to take the time off from her new job, I suppose. So, anyway.
So many of the things that she was instrumental in, are some of the things that make summer in the village so unique. The farmers market, we continue to encourage our residents to enjoy the farmers market on Wednesdays. I think is it 2 to 7. Every year it's been growing bigger, better. So many fun, interesting programs associated with the farmers market this summer. So I encourage everybody to do that. And, of course, Marilee was so instrumental in, kicking the farmers market off and getting it to where it is now. And also on Wednesday nights after the farmers market, those concerts in the park have begun. Yes. Mm-hmm. So we encourage our residents to take advantage of that.
Every Wednesday immediately following the market.
Right. Food and fun and neighbors and music. You must come by if you haven't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Question? Yes. Are there plans to replace
Yes.
her? Okay.
Yes. Council is currently the vacancy has been posted on the Michigan Municipal League website, and we are going to be finalizing very shortly
we're trying to figure out how many people we need to replace her.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I'm showing no additional business to come before this council this evening, so I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.